Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and today we're here to play some Star Wars Jedi Knight II, Jedi Outcast. And this is the PC version, completely unmodified. All I'm doing is running it in a window with the Steam controller configurator. This is an interesting game in that you gotta consider how great the early 2000s were. This came out in 2001, developed by Raven Software, and this came out, I think about a year later after Star Trek Elite Force. It's kind of crazy to think we got that game and then this one right after it. This game has way better graphics than Elite Force did. And hello, NAJ Tech Pro, and today's pretty good day, I suppose. It's very, 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 very hot. Like, ridiculously hot. Like, you step outside and you just want to die hot. But other than that, just a normal day. And yeah, this game is really quite fun. Jedi Academy is better than this, but this is pretty close. So let us begin. We're actually going to skip the intro because I don't want to get copyright flagged. Okay, and we go from a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And then we just go to, yep. Actually, it's probably still going to get flagged, but whatever.
Final approach. Whatever's causing those transmissions, it's not showing up on any of the sensors. This Imperial outpost looks as abandoned as reported.
It's as dead as the rest of Kedjum. Mon Mothma must be getting paranoid. She never used to send pros like us out on blue milk runs like this.
Kyle, Jan, greetings.
Mon Mothma, Kyle was just talking about you.
No doubt. I bring troubling information about your mission on Kedjum.
I hate it when you say troubling.
We've managed to decode a small fraction of the transmission we intercepted earlier, and, well, listen for yourselves. I will fire into shadow. First forces. We may have to the Valley of the Jedi. Reborn warrior.
The Valley of the Jedi?
Reborn?
We believe this transmission was intended for Galak Fayar, the suspected leader of the remnant forces in that sector. It's probably nothing more than a couple of soldiers telling tales around the glow lamp. But as you are the only survivors of the Valley of the Jedi incident, I thought it only fair to warn you that this mission may be more dangerous than we originally anticipated. Your objectives, however, remain the same. Find out what you can, clear out any remnant forces you encounter, and may the Force be with you.
So much for the blue milk run. I think I saw someone.
Really? You think you did, Jan? You think? So yeah, we don't actually have the lightsaber yet. And we're not gonna have the lightsaber until after this level. Yeah, I'm trying to use this with the Steam controller configurator. I'm using a whole new controller, and it's a little more sensitive than my old Xbox controller. I'm shooting about as bad as Jan over here. And for those who wonder why I use a controller, it just is much more comfortable for me. Like, I've tried to turn down the stick's sensitivity, but that doesn't seem to really help that much. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. Jan, why would you run straight in front of my shots? Why would you do that? I am really hurt. Yeah, stormtroopers can shoot for shit. No, what did I hit? I hit F6, which apparently is... no, I don't want to leave Jedi. Oh, crap. I think F6 must have been quick load and not quick save. Thankfully, I've got all my old saves here, so we can just immediately get back to it. There we go. I don't know. Do we really need a straight-up first-person shooter? Because that lightsaber is really a lot of fun. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, you know? And this is what really perfected lightsaber controls in Star Wars games. Is that some of the best lightsabering of all time. Although Jedi Academy was better. And it's been going good, it's just been very hot. Now, I know there's been some complaints about how, like, why can't you, like, dismember people? Wow, that stormtrooper is going nuts. You can get hurt if that stormtrooper falls on you.
Going to do much good against that.
I'll see if I can find a way to get the door open.
Jan, why would shooting that with a hand weapon make any difference? I mean, come on, you should know better than that. Like how they were just kind of like hiding back here. Leave no survivors. Yeah, like, there's some complaints about, why is there no dismemberment? It's like, in reality, well, actually, for this particular game, you can dismember the enemies if you activate a cheat, but you don't really want super dismemberment in Star Wars just because Star Wars is meant to have a much lighter tone. Oh, crap, there we go. That's the control for that Jedi Knight game to this. I prefer this to Jedi Knight. Jedi Knight has aged badly in many respects. I mean, I love it, but just getting the mouse to work right in that game is ridiculously difficult. Like, annoyingly difficult. This is just a lot more refined. The thing about the difference between the 90s and the 2000s is there's a lot of good games in the 90s, but the 2000s just refined gaming to the point where it's a bit more fun, in my estimation. It all had to start somewhere, and then once we hit the 2010s, gaming became kind of boring. Because cutscenes. Hand hurt, huh? Weird. Because, like, for me, using the keyboard gives me some hand pain, because I'm using a keyboard every day. And so, I knew I was getting old when I started getting hand pain from using the standard keyboard controls. Used to be, there was a time when I hated all controllers. Now I'm been converted to the console crowd, right? But yeah, dismemberment in Star Wars just doesn't work. Would you really want to see somebody's spleen flying away or something? There's a little bit, there's something we said that too much realism is not necessarily a good thing. Because there's some people that complain that a lightsaber should, like, make someone explode. It's like, would you really want to see that? I'm just saying here, people. It's kind of like, you have to have a certain level of plausibility, but you can't have too much plausibility, because then the story gets boring. You know, you have to have a story with, you know, human characters, some sort of emotions, you know. If you got people getting blown up by a lightsaber hit, that's gonna be, yeah. Holy crap, I'm getting shot by every stormtrooper in the country. Jan, you know, I'm sad for you. Your AI just is not that great. Actually, no, you did kill that guy. Movies had dismemberment, alien at the bar, Luke's hand, bro. Well, yeah, but that's a different kind of dismemberment. When I'm talking about dismemberment, I'm talking like heads flying off. I'm talking like somebody gets cut open and all their guts come spilling out. That's what I'm thinking about. Not just, you know, cutting somebody's hand off. You can cut somebody's hand off in this game, actually. And in Jedi Academy. I'm talking like the real dismemberment, because with the cheat code, which I no longer remember, like, you can cut somebody's leg off, you can cut heads off, and it doesn't fit with the tone that Star Wars is trying to go for. The woke lore. Oh, the Acolyte. I've seen some videos on it. I refuse to watch it, mainly because I just don't care. I watched Boba Fett because it had Boba Fett in it, and that show was halfway adequate. Halfway adequate. I mean, Boba Fett was barely in it, but it was fun enough. And boom. Prefer usually not to traumatize. Exactly. And the Jedi are supposed to be going for disabling shots anyway. They're not supposed to be, like, just straight up murdering people. Played the first year of the game several times, never completed it. I can understand why you probably wouldn't be able to complete the game, just because it does get hard later on, and it does get pretty obtuse in places. Jedi Academy is one of those things that one of those games that really was able to fix a lot of problems, because that game is perfectly finishable, whereas this game, some of the puzzles are a little too difficult. That's one of the problems with 90s games, is a lot of 90s games are a lot of fun. Okay, I forget how to save, so we're just gonna manually save. Like, is it auto-saved? Yeah, well, we'll just do another catch and post. There's a lot of 90s games, you get to a point where you just have no idea where to go. Jan, I can see why you want me to actually be able to play the game. Hang out here for a while. Ugh. Yeah, women, am I right? But yeah, the movies weren't made for kids, but I'm talking like, okay, let's say Kyle over here, like, cuts the top of this guy's skull off, and, like, his brain comes flying out. No, it's like, you gotta have tasteful dismemberment. When I think of dismemberment, I think of a lot worse than that. Like shit in 40K, or like, a Chaos guy uses a chainsaw sword to cut somebody's liver out, you know, stuff like that. Okay, this does not like to quick load. Don't tell me I lost that save. No, I didn't. There we go. Had a cool antagonist. I mean, it mostly does. I mean, you do fight a ghost of Marka Ragnos. That's pretty cool. But yeah, Tavion is kind of a, well, she's a simp. I mean, she's simping for a dead Sith Lord. She's simping for that Necro. I mean, never mind. It should be F5, but it's not working. Wow, that Stormtrooper's just that Stormtrooper's actually pretty smart. He's going to get help. You know what you do? You get help. You're just lucky I'm using a controller and can't shoot for shit in this. With the lightsaber, it'll be a lot easier, but we're not going to get that for a little while. I do recommend completing it, but I can guarantee you that you're going to reach a point in this game where you're going to want to stop, and that is, there's this puzzle room that you have to go through, and you have to basically decipher some kind of code, and that took me forever. I eventually gave up and just looked up a walkthrough. Jedi Academy was a lot better about that. As we proceeded through the 2000s, they got better about not making you just want to give up. And then it got too simple, and then it kind of lacked, you know, the same level of satisfaction you get. It's a fine line between... It's a fine line between challenge and frustration. Now, this game did get a bunch of console ports. Weirdly enough, there's a GameCube version of this game. I've never played it. Yeah, what are you running? Okay, we're gonna have to start quick saving because these guys are just shooting the shit out of me. I don't remember the game being this hard. Let's see, do I want to even try to use the keyboard and mouse? Nah, it's not actually going any faster. It's not going any better. We're 007! It completes the... If you kill Rosh in the tutorial, that'd be nice. Yeah, 40K's got the female custodies, but I don't care. Mainly because, the old 40K will always be there. I wouldn't happen to have, no, I don't have no Bacta. I ain't got no Bactas! Huh. I'm glad the GameCube version worked. I don't know why Jedi Academy... God damn it! I don't know why why Jedi Academy was never ported. I gotta try this again. Maybe I won't be so hurt. You know, Jan, you could get out here helping. You're just gonna hang out here for a while, huh? My only problem with certain fictional franchises is just the fact that the heroes never have armor. It's like when it would be really, really useful. That's one thing that I get why they don't, so that the main character or main characters can be distinctive. But it'd be better to have something more than armor class of pants. You know, like, the Stormtrooper armor in this game makes a lot of sense. Look at how many shots it takes to kill one of these guys. 2 or 3 shots, that's not bad. You're not going to be invulnerable in armor, but if you actually combined, you know, like Stormtrooper armor and, like, shields, you'd have something that's pretty good. But, unfortunately, let's see, that should have been on GameCube, it weren't. Yeah, Battlefront could have run on that. The Sisterhood of the Hidden Scepter. Oh my. I mean, every franchise is gonna go woke because they want that sweet, sweet ESG money. But all the old stuff still exists. That's why I don't care about the Acolyte, because I wasn't gonna consider it canon anyway. Man, I'm just getting my ass kicked here. It's just on normal. You should know, you're a Stormtrooper. Didn't you have continuous communication with HQ or something? This AI is a lot better than I remember. They really dumbed the AI down in Jedi Academy. Because these guys are actually moving around and trying. You're actually trying, Stormtrooper. You're actually trying. Okay, let me save real quick. I'm just gonna keep saving. Friends place back in the day. Okay, Spaceballs 2. Is that really necessary, though? And I highly doubt it's gonna be good. And the reason I highly doubt it's gonna be good is because the real Spaceballs, the first one, was at least making fun of stuff that was good. I mean, what is it gonna make fun of? How crappy Ray is. Okay, this should open, but I can't... There we go. Give me that sweet, sweet shields. AI and bots for multiplayer. Yep, this had AI bots, and I played this game multiplayer by myself because I had no friends. All the time. Don't need none of those dastardly people. Really, I'm out of ammo, and all I've got is my stun baton. But I have some thermal detonators. Well, at least I killed him from the grave. Weapon mod for Turok the Dinosaur Hunter? That's weird. My only thing about, like, weapon mods for games that don't really need them is, like, okay, do we need a weapon mod for Turok that has blasters in it? Like, why would Turok have access to that? But whatever. Yeah, there was a Spaceballs cartoon, and it was terrible. Trans Crusade game, I want to find out their Discord. Why am I not surprised? See, the only problem with, like, Trench Crusade, for those who don't know what that is, it's basically Warhammer 40k, but, World War I, and there's a lot of body horror. Well, more body horror than 40k usually has. It looks alright, but it looks too grimdark. I actually have a video going up next month on, Warhammer 40k, where I argue that 40k isn't actually grimdark. Because grimdark is boring to me, because in any sort of grimdark setting, you can the stories get very predictable. It's like, oh, clearly the heroes aren't going to win this one because they can't. Because I've read some grimdark stories, and it basically all ends the same way each time. It's like, the good guys show up and either get slaughtered, or they don't win, or when they do win, they make things worse. And that's just kind of how it goes. So it goes. And so Trench Crusade, it's like there's no good guys, and they're never gonna win because that's just the kind of universe they're in. It's like, they gotta win sometimes, otherwise, when they lose, it has no emotional impact. So 40k, more often than not, the good guys do win. And so when they lose, it's much more impactful. When it comes to any story, there has to be some expectation of success or failure. If it's success all the time, it's boring. If it's failure all the time, it's just as boring, but from a different direction. We got our first puzzle. Use the swords. Final Fantasy VII. You know, that is a game franchise I've never had any interest in, because Final Fantasy is a JRPG, and JRPGs are just kind of weird. Space Marine is a good example of 40k. Yeah, Space Marine, but there's a lot of books. Most notably, Eisenhorn. This is very dark. There we go. We've got yellow vision. You know, you'd think that in the future we'd have better night vision than this. I mean, already in the current year, we've got better night vision than this. That almost replicates full color. It's weird, but really awesome. Okay, let's save again. There we go. What does ESG mean? Oh man, ESG is an acronym that essentially means environmental social guidelines, I think. It basically is a listing of things you have to do. Shoot him in the dick! Shoot him in the dick! Things you have to do to get certain investment money from major corporations. Every company does it so they can get that sweet money, but that also means that everything is pretty terrible. Come on, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him in the head, shoot him in the head! Don't crouch at me! It makes Patty and Selma look great. Social and governance. Oh, that's even more dystopian than I thought it was. Now, I think this will show up. Yep, it will. You just gotta look up, you just gotta find all the different codes. I assume that's gonna open up everything. I assume. See, this is a pretty easy puzzle. You don't have to get in a bunch of buildings to figure it out. Yeah, I've heard the game for Eisenhorn was god-awful. I've never played it. It's apparently a mobile game with, like, microtransactions for guns. Let's see. Yeah, Captain Titus is a pretty cool character. I mean, he's not that special in the realm of 40k characters, though. Like, one of the books I'm going to recommend for the 40k Reader's Guide is the Ultramarines Omnibus 1, and that introduces the character of Uriel Ventress, and he's basically Captain Titus before Captain Titus was a thing. Because he tries to save people and all the rest, and isn't a complete psycho. 40k is often embodied by, like, the memes and stuff like that. It's really not as dark as people make it out to be. I mean, like, there is darkness in it, but it's not that dark. Because, like, most of the major characters are going to be mostly sane. Mostly. If you want a good gateway book into 40k, get the Space Wolf Omnibus. I was actually going through some of my paperback books today, and I found a box with all my favorite books. Eisenhorn, all the Gotrek and Felixes, the Grey Knights Omnibus. Like, that's the thing I love about Warhammer 40k is they come in omnibuses, and they're a lot cheaper than buying them singly. But also, if you just want a single book, you can't get it either. Over a good show. Ouch! How did you manage to get second-degree burns? That is not fun. Pre-heresy word bearers. I don't remember much about them. They were never really my favorite. Space Wolf Omnibus is out of print. Shit. As I always say, sometimes desperate times call for media preservation. Not that I would ever recommend such a thing. You need to pay at least 5 times for the same book. It's one of those problems with recommending books is I don't know what's out of print or not, because most of the books I recommend are like 20 or 30 years old sometimes.
Jan, I'm gonna need your help. There's an access terminal here, but it's encoded.
I'm on my way.
Jan, I need you to hack. Oh, ow, that is not fun. It's been...
Pin down. Get back here and give me a hand.
That is not fun. I mean, this is why Hank Hill always recommends using a propane grill and not charcoal. Because propane and propane accessories is a lot safer. Most of the time, at least. Because I'm going to be grilling up... Well, I'm not going to be grilling some stuff up, but I'll be helping other people grill up some stuff for the 4th of July, because that's going to be in the next couple of weeks. I think it's week after next, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I'm probably... Should have saved after I... This is so much more difficult than I remember. Even if I was using keyboard controls, it still would be hard. Now, what's kind of funny about Star Wars, the whole long time ago, I never really take that, all that seriously. Because, well, technically it's another galaxy, so, with light cones and all the rest, it could be anywhere in the past, present, or future, depending on how fast you go, I guess. But, you know, there's been a few theories as to, like, what time period Star Wars takes place in. And most of the time it doesn't matter, because there's not supposed to be any real crossover with the Earth. But in a couple of non-canon stories, there was one where the Millennium Falcon ended up on Earth in like the 1700s. So there's that. And there was a book that was never published where humans from the 22nd century were kidnapped by the Hutts to the Star Wars galaxy. So there's that. So make of that what you will. I don't really consider Star Wars a fairy tale, though. To me, it is a traditional space fantasy series with a lot of military science fiction overtones. Although, unlike military science fiction, it actually has characters and plot and doesn't just have generic military dude. I hate generic military dude. I haven't read that many, but I've tried to read, generic military science fiction, and it's all boring as fuck. Because the writer likes to spend too much time on the technology or the tactics and not enough on the characters. That's one of the reasons why Eisenhorn is such a great series. It's like, it's got a bunch of really colorful characters that really come alive in the narrative. Ooh, I got fucking just rocked there. Oh my. I mean, I'm sure the President's son does that a lot. See, Lorgar is kind of a tragic character. That's one of the things about 40K that's actually great, is that it, in addition to being, I don't want to load, I want to save here. That in addition to being a good science fiction series, it also has a lot of tragic overtones. Tragedy is not necessarily a bad thing, so long as you don't overdo it. Well, I will admit that King of the Hill got it right in that, yes, when you use charcoal or wood, you do get a slightly better flavor, but I don't want to make Hank Hill too sad, though. The socialist side is the rich corporations. Yep, it's all about power. But socialism was never about helping the actual poor, because usually the actual poor in a socialist society just get sent to the camps. But hey, that's not hashtag not real, right? Hashtag not real. But anyway, Alan Moore wrote a Star Wars comic and introduced abstract god beings. I vaguely remember that happening, but that had already taken place a few years before, well, probably more than a few years. There were some stories where, like, the Celestials had created a space station or something. The thing about Star Wars is, I like it when it's a much more grounded setting, without space gods and shit like that. 40K did a good job with that, whereas Star Wars, it just seemed so unnecessary. Or when they Super Saiyanized the Force. I mean, it makes sense to a certain degree to have the Force be more powerful than we see it, but it really just... It's not that necessary to be able to use Force lightning to destroy a ship or something. I'm almost out of ammo. Crap. Stab him! Stab him! Fucking stab him. Actually, he's stunned. He's like the only survivor now. He's gonna have massive survivor's guilt. Truly a dark side action. Casually fuse two stormtroopers together? Ouch. Well, Zujiris, there are alternatives. You know, just media preservation, you know? I mean, I'm just saying, media preservation's pretty good. We live in an age where you kind of gotta preserve media. Really? Killed by a stormtrooper? Wow, that's a lot of recoil coming off that blaster. I'm just getting rocked by these guys. I've never had that happen before.
Jan, I'm gonna need your help.
See, like, I never cared about proper grammar. Like, you should see my message. You should see my text messages I send. It's always kind of funny when I misspell random words, or I really have, or I kind of like use absolutely incorrect grammar when trying to talk to somebody who doesn't have English as their first language. Like, what did you say? It's like, you think that's bad? I only speak good English and bad English. But yeah, King of the Hill is pretty funny, because it is a pretty grounded animated show. Like, it doesn't go too crazy. I'm just gonna keep getting blasted in the head by this guy. I guess eventually, once I get some shields or something, like, I do not remember this being this hard. Inuyasha. I actually dated a girl who was completely enamored by that show, and I had to watch like 10 episodes of it. But apparently, like with Inuyasha, there's like 500 episodes or something, and like 6 different movies, and then a sequel series. And like they never, like, Inuyasha is a very, I can see why that relationship failed. So basically, Inuyasha is a show about like a girl who has like this demon boyfriend, and she like can control him. It was a very strange show. And like they want to get some kind of Get some...
Where are you? I
Oh,
can't hold out much longer.
Oh, shut up, Jan. You're fine. You're contractually obligated to survive. What the hell? Why is the elevator not doing anything? Is it broken or something? Okay, there it goes. I can never tell.
Hurry up, Kyle.
Jan, I am literally on the way as we speak. It's like, good God, what more do you want from me? Women, am I right? I've got 2 health. I better save. Like, I've got no shields. Got nothing. Just nothing. If Lorgar killed Erebus and Corferon, yep, that would be nice. But then it'd probably be some other discontent happening. Because it is 40k. The way it's sometimes described is really... I like how Kyle's like, ugh, not again. We'll have to clone her again. I like how that's the checkpoint. I mean, it is the early 2000s, you know, so like it's gonna be... She may die again, and I'm not gonna get to her in time, so I'll just have to go to an earlier save, but whatever. Bobby is actually Bill's son. I highly doubt that. Bobby can be, you know, a disappointment on occasion, but he's not that much of a disappointment. Okay, I can remember where she is. And besides, he looks a lot like Cotton Hill anyway. With shins. Yeah, this game is pretty great. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Are you in here, Jan? Jan in the pen? No, Jan in the pen is not in there. So, what we want to do is we want to go back to here. And I guess what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to take that elevator. I think. The lift. We're gonna take the lift. Okay, I'm just gonna let that sit there for a second. Didn't like any of the hill. Hank is too controlling. I mean, he can be.
Kyle, where are you? I can't hold out much longer.
Star Wars Galaxy, the Stormtrooper's armor never changes. Well, the idea behind the Stormtrooper armor is it's supposed to be cheap. And you kind of eventually reach a point where you're kind of like post-science almost. To the point where there's only so many modifications you could theoretically be able to make. Okay, I gotta reload the save again. Man, this game is a lot tougher than I remember. It's crazy. Okay, so that elevator should take us to where we need to go. Theoretically. Because it almost did. I just gotta remember where she is.
Kyle, where are you? I can't hold out much longer.
Well, Stormtrooper armor in universe is going to be made out of some kind of space technology that we don't have. In real life, Stormtrooper armor is going to be made out of a number of different materials, ranging from plastic to foam and stuff like that. I've got a Clone Trooper armor set. Get a humble brag on that. That's made out of foam.
Hurry up, Kyle.
I'm generally a big fan of foam because it's a lot lighter than straight plastic. Okay, is she over here? Jan, you know, if you had like a locator beacon... No, here we are. Jan, okay, wait, you're telling me you just were sitting there the entire time doing nothing? What were you doing? You were literally just sitting there letting it blast you. What the fuck, man?
That code. Lead the way.
What the hell? You're supposed to be like a highly trained mercenary, and literally you're just sitting there staring off into space. You're staring at the wall. You know, maybe you ought to go back to the ship, you know? Maybe you'd be better as like a voice with an internet connection. No wonder you get kidnapped in every goddamn game. You're worthless, Jan. Worthless. And now you're shooting at the wall. You let him sneak up behind us. What are you doing? Okay, let me blast this guy real quick.
One less problem to deal with.
Jan, okay. You really need to be looking like where the enemies are coming from and not just staring at me. I mean, I guess she's just so blinded by Kyle's awesome beard. She just has to stare at him. But why were you just staring at the wall, Jan? Why? Why would you just stare at the goddamn wall? Jurassic Park Trespasser. People keep asking me about that, and the answer is no, I've not gotten to it yet. I've downloaded it a long time ago, legally, of course, along with the mod that fixes it, but I just have not gotten around to it yet. Jan, are you stuck? Jan, come on, follow me. Jan, okay. Come on, you can do it. You could have kept running to there, but whatever. I mean, I think we'll keep you on. I mean... you know, okay, I guess we'll keep her on. She likes to stare at walls, but she's got her own attributes, yeah. Let's see. We'll make the extra $1.98 hour. Yep. Yeah, see, a Night Dive remaster would be pretty good, but there already is a Jurassic Park re-release of a bunch of the console games. I want to review that, but I just haven't had a chance to get around to it yet. Chuck Norris is severely underpowered. It's Chuck Norris using 0.01% of his power, right? And yet, Kyle is a better character than Finn, but I'll tell you this, Finn had potential. I mean, he could have been the new Star Wars equivalent, but unfortunately, like with so many things, he was completely underutilized. Instead, they focused on nobody. And gave nobody any character. Jurassic Park Lost World PS1 game. I played that game once. Back in 1990, whatever the fuck. That was the first game I ever played for the PlayStation. Rented the console and everything. And couldn't get past the compy level and completely gave up on it. And never went back to it. Although, funny enough, my early book reviews had the theme from that game. It was really good. The person who did the music for that game is did the music for the Lost World PS1 game is the same guy who did the Medal of Honor soundtrack and the Star Trek 2009 soundtrack, which, say what you will about that movie, and there's a lot I can say about that movie. That film at least had good music. There's a Saturn version of Jurassic Park Trespasser? Weird. I did not know that. Oh crap, that was so stupid. I should have blown that up. I was too busy paying attention. Investigate. Okay, well that doesn't tell me anything. She opened a door somewhere. We gotta find that. Yeah, we're under attack. Okay, let's try that again. I'm down to 1 health. Can take 1 hit. Disney abandoned everybody because Disney is just stupid and filled with idiots who do not have the credentials to do what they're doing. That's why The Acolyte is so terrible, because none of those people are even remotely good writers, nor are they interested in making a good story. I mean, that's why it's bad. People don't have superhero fatigue, they have shit fatigue. Because no one wants to see a poor story told terribly, and then told that they're the ones wrong for not liking it. Oh crap, you bastard. Now, I personally never liked the original trilogy Stormtrooper armor. Just never really did it for me. But that Clone Trooper armor, man. The fact... Yes, it's the 4 dots and some squiggles. Picked up the lightsaber TFA. I was like... Hero's Journey? Nope. Nope. We're not going to have no kind of Hero's Journey because that would be the sexasms or something. I don't know what it would be. I mean, like I said, you could have easily done a good story with the shit that showed up in the Disney Wars. Like, Rey is not somebody... It has a lot of potential. She does have a legitimate amount of potential that could have made for a good character. Like, you make her... You actually lean in hard to the Rey Palpatine thing, and you could have something really good. Like, have her be, like, really angry all the time, but she has to control her anger. You could have Luke be a legitimate Jedi Master to teach her to control her passions. I mean, that'd be great. Or you could have Rey be his daughter. Just have her be his daughter, god damn it. But that'd be too heteronormative, right? You could have her be his daughter, and she's trying to live up to the family legacy or something, and it's like... that wasn't a completely ruined story. You could easily have Poe be a Han Solo equivalent, maybe a little less devil may care, but they just gave nobody no character. Andor, there's no stormtrooper inaccuracy. Yep, stormtroopers are supposed to be badass. Now, that's one thing about A New Hope is they really couldn't be that badass because then you would have no movie. You can't have things be 100% realistic all the time because then you have no movie. You have no plot. You have nothing. It's like they die in the first 5 minutes and no one wants to see that. At least I don't. Now, this game does get pretty dark because you actually see some Imperial slaves. Because, yes, the imps have slaves because, well, they are a collectivist kind of thing. And the collectivists love that for whatever reason. The new Kane book. I think it's an anthology, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, damn, I'm so out of ammo. Well, or not. I'm going to hurl myself into the abyss instead. Let's see. Was an Empire Return of the Jedi? I don't think that would actually have been that great, just because Tarkin is a character that he kind of needed to die in the movie he was introduced in. I'm just going to get completely rocked in every encounter. Although it's starting to get a little better. Okay, let's just go back to the Briar pistol. I do not remember this game being this hard. I guess if I had more than 1 health, this would be a little easier, wouldn't it? Stormtroopers slaughter the rebels. Yep. That was a good insertion. Oh my. There's actually a comic that showcases a character from that attack. It's called Troops, I think. And it was all about the stormtrooper that got shot by Princess Leia. It's pretty good. Pretty dark. Because evidently one of the stormtroopers was so intimidated by Vader, he literally shit himself like a certain president. It's like, you probably don't want to have your men fear you that much that they're literally shitting themselves in your presence. Because you know Vader had to smell that. It's like, yeah, that's not really something you should want to have your troops be doing. Just saying. Of course, that would end up getting retconned when Battlefront 2 came out. Where the hell did he go? Where did these guys come from? No wonder I'm dying every 5 feet. Feels like Halo Reach. I've not seen Andor. Somehow, Tarkin has returned. And thank you very much, Triple X Medic. I'll read your message in just a second, so long as I don't get shot. God damn it! Fucking stormtrooper. Theoretically, Vader should be able to smell something through that mask. He should have like an olfactory sensor or something. Well, thank you, Triple X Medic. Enjoy driving around on that bloody thing. Fire trucks are pretty cool, actually. Those things are huge. But I will admit, whenever I'm driving, I hate seeing those bloody things. It's like, oh god, where am I going to get out? How am I going to get out of the way without getting run over by every bloody car in the country? We're meaning to miss their shots so they could escape. I mean, I guess you could say that, but I think that's going a bit too far and trying to explain something that doesn't really need to be explained. Because I don't know how many troops would just deliberately try and miss. I mean, there of course are psychological aspects to that. But still, though, it's like, it seems like it could just be that they didn't hit them, and you just leave it at that, you know? It's kind of like, in a movie, it's like, they find them. Because if they didn't find them, you don't have a plot. It's like, if the stormtroopers could hit, you would have no movie. Luke and all the rest would be dead in the first 5 minutes. Okay, just give me all the Bacta. Just give me every Bacta tank in the country. Blade left the film because it would have never focused on him. It's, you know, I could easily see that being true. Because you can't have a male lead anymore. Which is pretty stupid because you really should be able to have both male and female leads. I mean, just look at Lara Croft Tomb Raider. I mean, that is a character that got a lot of asses in seats because, well, Angelina Jolie was hot. Look at how many shots these guys tank. Shoot him in the dick. No, yeah. As far as I know, he is in the medical field. An actual medic. Actor for Blade. Okay, that's that. I don't think he's cringy. He's cool. He's a cool dude. Love how the Imperial officer's like, it's like, is he getting off on this? I don't know. Yes, being Cloud City, missing their shots. It's one of those things where you kind of just have to accept it as a movie. Like, the stormtroopers shouldn't be missing, but it's a movie. It's not as though the director's going to really know how firefights work, and even if they do, you kind of just have to accept it for what it is. It's kind of like Commando. None of that movie is even remotely realistic, but you know what? If it was, it would be really boring. I mean, you kind of have to have Arnie be a one-man army, even if it makes no sense. More GBA games, but there's so much garbage and shovelware. Oh, yes, there is. The GBA, man. The GBA was one of those consoles where it had a lot of shit with a few gems. Or a lot of shit with a few truffles, I guess you could say. One game I recommend above all else is Metroid Fusion. It's one of the best Metroid games of all time, mainly because you can figure out where the hell you're supposed to go. Then there's Metal Slug Zero Mission, which is Metal Slug on the GBA. I mean, it works remarkably well. Then you got Turok Evolution. I think it's what that was called. There's a Turok game on the GBA that's actually pretty good. It's ridiculously difficult, though, but is well worth playing. And yeah, there's Wing Commander. I'm not sure how good that game is. I haven't actually played it in years, but I think it wasn't too bad. The GBA also had some real-time strategy games, like some kind of a mech RTS on there. Then there's oh, I can't remember what it is now. I think it's called Advance Wars. Yeah, Advance Wars, which is this anime real-time strategy kind of thing that was remarkably fun. I'd never heard of it until I randomly came across a preserved ROM of it. Not that I would ever recommend using preserved ROMs. The GBA is a very important console to me because it technically is what got me started in making videos. Cloud City Guard lead the and slow down the servers by shutting the doors. That could work. Graphics are similar in quality to TIE Fighter on the Game Boy Advance. That's crazy. Yeah, without the GBA, this YouTube channel would never exist. Because I so loved the Game Boy Advance flash cart I bought. It was the first thing I ever bought directly from China. And the GBA flash cartridge, you know, you could put on all kinds of ROMs on there. It was awesome. Oh, it's gonna hide in the corner, huh? Well, fuck you, dude. Just grab that battery. Okay, I'm not sure if that's gonna kill me or not if I go down there, so we better save. Hey, there's also Fire Emblem, but I never really got into that. It says they only have 18% accuracy in a gunfight. Games for the first 3D games because you have to render a level. Just a skybox. Yep. This is true. Eventually I do need to play Wing Commander. Let's charge through there. In the span of a year, you went from Star Trek Voyager Elite Force to this. This is superior in every way. I'm actually going to stream Elite Force soon-ish.
What was that? Just another day at work, Jan.
Yeah, tell me about it. See, like, Kyle, he would much rather work from home. You know, send out like an Android or something. I'd like to work from home. Because I hate driving. 18% accuracy makes sense. Because just because someone's a cop doesn't mean they're going to really know how to shoot well. Okay, we're going to try to throw these grenades at him without blowing ourselves up. Oh, crap. Because I don't have nearly enough ammo to take these guys on. Yep, I'm gonna have to, like, use my stun baton and hope that does something. Stun him! Can you kill him with the stun baton? Yep. Good thing I don't have it. Don't take damage from them exploding. Like, why would you have probe droids just randomly guarding your base, though? Aren't they supposed to be, you know, probing things? Free Space 2. Yeah, I gotta get to that. I've heard of it. You can see a thing of the... See, like, him saying he can't see a thing out the helmet, I guess he was too small for it, and so his eyes didn't match up with the lenses. Because, like, a Stormtrooper is supposed to have a heads-up display. I mean, you think in the Star Wars galaxy they have the technology for that, but that's just a line he randomly said that people took way too literally. And yeah, on a two-way range, accuracy kind of goes down. And by kind of goes down, I mean really goes down. Space fights end up being too much work to set it up. And yeah, I've been wanting to get a joystick to run on a modern computer, but apparently it isn't that easy. God damn it. Run! Ah! Now, back in the early 2000s, I could never figure out how to get past that part. And then I immediately hurled myself into the abyss. Yeah, flight sims are, is one of those genres... One of those genres of games that have sadly kind of died off. These days, you pretty much just have DCS, which I think is really, really expensive, if I'm not mistaken. Like, you have to buy each plane, and each plane is like $20 or $30. It's like, yeah, no thank you. I'm not spending $300 on a game. Now, in real life, when you wear like a clone trooper costume, it is very hard to see out of those out of that helmet. But then again, that's a costume. It's not exactly, you know, real, true to life in that regard. Okay, let's get past the cutscene.
What was that?
Okay, let's save again. This is way more difficult. I can see why people would kind of give up on this game because, man, you compare this to Jedi Academy, they really toned down that difficulty. They expected a lot more from gamers back in these days. I get the feeling I probably used some cheat codes by this point, though. I was very much a cheat code kind of guy back in the 90s and 2000s. At least you had reason to use it, because it's legitimately difficult. Lock to the user through some method. See, that makes a lot of sense. It's one of those things that, like, you wouldn't want to put that in a story, though, because you want the characters, they put the helmet on and it works. You don't have a meandering bit of the plot where they have to unlock the helmet, and then what if that doesn't... In stories, you kind of have to simplify things just so you can keep the plot moving. Okay, let's save so we don't have to do all that again. Yeah, I've seen the LGR video on DCS World where he blew up the Spitfire. If you want to have just a gut-busting laugh, a really gut-busting laugh, watch the Lazy Game Reviews video on Train Simulator 2012. I'm not going to tell you what happens in that video, but believe me, I have not laughed that hard at anything else. GTA Vice City. Aw, crap. And the game just crashed. Alright. Jedi Academy is, or Jedi Knight is much more... Okay, there we go. It was like Rambo with a heavy machine gun, and Predator was like Rambo using the jungle. I could see that. Yeah, new games aren't made for anybody. Not even the lowest common denominator. No one wants to play any of that shit. That's why they're bombing at the goddammit. But bombing at the box office, or the video game equivalent. Paid flight sims are still a thing. Yep, hyperrealism is very annoying. That's why I don't like, oh, what the hell is that game called? Arma. Never could get into that. Okay, we may have to just use a later save. I think I'm gonna do that anyway, since this is... We've been kind of slogging through Kedjum, and we're not even close to being done with this. Yeah, back in the early 2000s, this is where I started cheating. I think I just no-clipped my way over there, because it's not at all obvious where you're supposed to go. That's one thing about Raven Software. They did it really well in that... they did the level design really well in that it's not obvious where to go, but once you recognize where you're supposed to go, it's like, how did I miss that? Played Edge of Chaos and never even heard of that. I was playing... Yeah, but I guess the RE4 remake even really a modern game? Okay, so there's nothing there. It's just a remake of a classic game. Okay. Now, I seem to remember... I think we need to get on top of this thing over here. Oh my. Okay, let's shoot that guy first. So basically we need to get up here, but I don't remember how we're supposed to get up there. So this is like the first of the puzzles in this game. Because it's not... And of course I keep falling in that goddamn hole. Red Dead Redemption. Yep, Red Dead Redemption is pretty good. Need to do a review on that at some point. Okay, did we shoot the window? No, it's never that easy. There's somewhere we have to go. There's somewhere that we have to go in order to climb up on that tube over here. Cars releasing physicals of their old games. Ninja Golf. That is crazy. See, like RE2 and RE3, the remakes, that would get me to play them more just because I never really liked the original PlayStation games. Okay, so let's go over here. There's gotta be something that I'm missing. There's always... Ooh, wait a minute. Was it over here? Was it one of these things, maybe? I seem to recall that maybe... No, it's not. What you'll find in these... Could that be it? No, of course not. What you'll find in these old Raven Software games, especially this game in particular, is that it's usually something in plain sight that you're just not seeing. I think the first Red Dead Redemption is probably a little better than the second one, if only because it's a little bit more simple. Okay, this was, see, like I told you, this is pretty obvious. We had to go back a little bit, and here we are. Requires you to think just a little bit, not much. But it took me forever back in the early 2000s to figure that out. I hate to admit. You can just no-clip, though. That works, too. Let me see here. Ninja Golf is one of those things that I miss the days when developers would do that without trying to be ironic. Because everything that's weird is just ironic. It's like, lol, so quirky. And not everything needs to be lol, so quirky. DMC3. I've never played any of the Devil May Cry games. I have the first one, and I did absolutely nothing with it. See, like, this is actual squad-based tactics. It's like, look at that. If I actually had my lightsaber, they'd be screwed, but that's how you do it. You got a 3-man fire team, and it actually held back Kyle Katarn a little bit. That's another thing that kind of annoys me is that, like, major characters in any sort of franchise, they can't have a rifle, they have to have a pistol. Because pistols are just cooler, man. Where it really makes sense for them to have a rifle. Good God. Okay, I need to save, because I'm getting my ass kicked by one officer with a rifle. Yep, he fucking just blasted me like an asshole. Okay, since we're about an hour in, I think I'll use a later save where I've actually got the lightsaber. made Ninja go up because their action games and sports games were their best-selling games. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Like, we'll just, like, have, like, action and sports. It's brilliant. It's like, what if we had, like, football, but it's a real-time strategy game where, like, in order to beat the game, you have to stab them. I mean, I guess you could stab somebody in football, but it's like, in order to win the game, like, you have to be able to generate so many footballs per minute or something. You have to, like, have a football base that just manufactures endless amounts of footballs. Star Wars guns use a combination of blaster gas, that's what they actually shoot, and an energy cell to energize the gas. Which, I think that's somewhat plausible. And I think, like, plasma rifles are supposed to work by, like, superheating some kind of thing and shooting it. I never liked Dave Filoni to begin with, but yeah, you can run out of ammo, but there's no moving parts, or at least there shouldn't be any moving parts in a blaster, because it's literally just energizing a gas and directing it towards a target. Now, realistically, though, you shouldn't be able to dodge blaster bolts, because they should be moving at the speed of light. Because it's literally coherent light. But it's also a video game, so whatever. This game's hard enough as it is. Oh yeah, Mutant League Football does exist. I forgot about that. And so does Blood Bowl. You can tell I'm not really much of a sports fan at all, because I don't care about sports. I never got into sports. You know, I may be a masculine man of manliness, but I just never got into the whole sport thing. In the game by killing enough of the team, yep. And I know Blood Bowl was a lot like that as well. So here's our first puzzle. And this is actually a pretty easy puzzle as well. Yeah, Ketchum takes forever. This is the passage that preys upon the weak. I don't have the blue code. Uh-oh. I think I was supposed to get the blue code, but I don't think I did. Okay, so we gotta go back here. I think. Ketchum is a lot longer than this too. Like, after we get through that door, there's still a shitload of level left. Like, you have to be really dedicated to beat this game. Okay, so I did not get the blue code. Uh-oh. Where's the blue code? No, here's the red one. I must not have actually seen it, so you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna skip a little bit since we've been going for an hour. And we're gonna go right here, which is right past that door. Geriatric skeet shooting. Never heard of it. See, you shoot that, and it'll kill a couple of them. Yeah, I did not remember how hard this game was. Because we have to go through the Ketchum base here, and then we've got to go through a mine and rescue a bunch of slaves. I think that's also where you end up fighting some dark troopers. No, not dark troopers. Shadow troopers. It's different. It's a different type of trooper. They're not dark enough to be shadows or something like that. They shall say that Sam Witwer is a committed actor. I don't know. I can't stand Force Unleashed. It's like that stupid Secret Apprentice bullshit. It's like, he had a secret apprentice all along! Uh-huh, I'm sure he did. It's like, you know, the guy! I never really liked that. It's on my phone because of severe thunderstorm. Oh man, that's sad. I had that happen to me a month ago. Power is out for 3 goddamn days. And that's never fun. That's why it's always good to have a generator. My recommendation for generators, propane and propane accessories. Gasoline goes bad after a while, propane does not. And with a generator, you can plug your refrigerator in, and you're good to go. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind when it comes to a generator is you have to figure out where you're going to have the extension cord go. Because, you know, it's like, you can't have the generator inside because you'll die from carbon monoxide poisoning. So what you gotta do is you gotta figure out where you're gonna put that goddamn thing, where you're gonna put the power cable and all the rest, and then probably what you're gonna want to do when it comes to a generator is you're going to want to have one extension cord going into a splitter, but you got to be careful because splitters only have only rated to so many watts. But that's the best way I could figure out how to do it. And yeah, propane will last for years. I've got propane tanks that are 20 years old in there, and it's still good. I mean, that's why, you know, Hank Hill loves it so much. Like that's why he humps the tanks. I mean, not that never happens. I will admit, propane does not make quite as good meat as charcoal does, but it does work good in a generator. The dinosaur gas. Then how did the rebels start? The original introduction for the rebels was much more realistic. Essentially, it was a bunch of different resistance groups that eventually got together and started pooling resources instead of a guy with a lightsaber, which I really liked because I don't like the fact that Jedi are so important because it kind of invalidates, you know, all the human struggle and all the rest. And it makes a lot more sense too. It started small and just kept growing and growing because, well, you see, the Empire kept taxing people to the point where they couldn't live. Not unlike certain other governments. Power still working though. See, solar powered generators aren't bad, but oh crap, I'm so dead. Solar powered generators aren't bad, but they're very expensive compared to propane. But then you don't have to use consumables either, so you have that for it. Generator outsider. Living room to guard it from getting stolen. Yeah, that is a concern. Because people are assholes. I do not know what I just did. I shut down something somewhere. This is a very complicated level. It truly is the passage that preys upon the weak. It's like, I think you gotta open up that door, and then that goes somewhere. I don't think we have to backtrack this far. Yeah, because we can't go that far. Super Blackhawk, not bad. Script. Pad that I didn't save. At least it's only a paragraph. I was going to do a full review of the Stargate SG-1 TV series. And, well, there was a power outage, and I lost an entire 12-page script. 12 pages. And that's why you'll never see that video, because I refuse to do it again. Okay, that shut something down, but where? Oh my. Switch just made the room safe? Okay, then what are we doing in here other than just continuing to fall into this bloody thing? Okay, maybe I'm supposed to shoot something in there? This is just like the classic Dark Forces games in that there's a lot of what the hell do I do moments in it. Okay, that does nothing. That did that. That shows that, but that doesn't help me here. I don't think that's gonna blow that up. Nope. That did fuck and all. Oh, I think I see. There we go. I got it. It's the thing that goes up. Okay. And hello, Ace Party. Show me what a naked woman looked like. Oh my. The only thing I remember from Newgrounds is the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny. And that's about it. I never really went on there much. I hear something wubbing around there. Played it PC, the Xbox version. Yeah, the Xbox version is what I played back then. Living room. Power generator. 45. Baby Eagle. Not bad, not bad at all. All good choices. My only problem with having a Super Blackhawk is getting ammo for it. Ever since 2020, 44 mag ammo is very expensive. I should have just bought the regular Black Hawk, because 38 Special is still somewhat affordable. Somewhat. Not as fun, but at least you can get ammo for less than like $50 a box. But whatever. I'm not bitter. Okay, I am so hurt. And I've got no ammo. It's like real life. Yeah, the showdown of ultimate destiny. Those early days of the internet where things were so much more, innocent, let's say. Back when people had to have creativity instead of just talking about, drama and other bullshit like that. Oh, I remember this. We're just gonna load, later. So for those who don't know what actually ends up happening, Jan gets kidnapped again. Let's actually go to here. Let's go to Archer's topside. I think I want to at least show the lightsaber in this game, but it takes a long time before you get that thing.
Kyle, the evac ships are standing by. Just keep those prisoners alive.
Yeah, so we gotta rescue some prisoners. And we did. In an earlier save. I mean, look at this. Look how cool this looks. In 2001, this was pretty awesome. You're not supposed to have a rocket launcher, you asshole! Don't even bother trying to fight it. Don't even, just run. You can eventually get to a turret gun and just blast it. Run! I don't have a lightsaber. Let's see. I've recently started buying swords. Yeah, swords are pretty cool. I mean, I have always wanted a sword myself, but, actually, I do have a sword now that I think of it. You bastard. Okay, just let me reload the save. Okay, maybe that's not where we're supposed to go. We have a bowcaster now? Okay, I think we have to go back in here. Okay, this is a complete waste of ammo and my time. Super Blackhawk versus Desert Eagle. How much is a 12 gauge? 12 gauge will be dependent on what kind of 12 gauge you want. A basic Maverick 88 will run you about 200 bucks or so. And you can get an 8-shot tube, so not bad. Not too expensive. This game is much harder than I remember. I'm just gonna straight up say, I did not remember this game being this hard. I mean, you compare this to something like, Elite Force. Elite Force was super easy compared to this. And it only came out a year before this. But look at how much damage these guys are taking. They really... And there's a ATST right outside this room. There is nothing you can do about that. There is nothing you can do about that. Because we have to ride this elevator. And so somehow you have to stay alive long enough to get up here. And is there any health up here? No. Is that imp officer? Now. Now you can finally take this guy out. Blast him! And you got a counter for even the fucking turret. And Turknellies are pretty cheap. They're only about 500 for a semi-auto shotgun. I don't really... My only problem is I don't necessarily even see the point for one of those because they use a tube mag. Blast him, blast him, blast him. If I was going to get a semi-auto shotgun, I would get...
We'll wait here for the evac. Run!
I would get one that has detachable mags.
Too strong. You have to do something about those ion
Spawning mobs like Luke and Jedis. Nice. Yeah, 357, far cheaper. Really, though, if you want any sort of Magnum kind of thing that's not 10mm, you've got to hand load. You gotta roll your own, because, yeah, ammo is ridiculous. If it doesn't start with 9mm or 223 or 7.62x39, it's all super expensive. Yeah, that lever shotgun isn't bad, but it's a little finicky. You're gonna have to like really learn the ins and out of that before you can really get a lot of good usage out of it. Let's see, AK. Yep, the AK is pretty nice. A versus mode at any point? Probably not. Just because, actually, you know what, now that I think of it, maybe I could do that. We'll have to see. Maybe against AI? I'm not sure. There's a lot of games I want to do. And there's only so many days in the week. My god, these guys take a lot of hits. This is so much harder than I remember. I like the better AI, but man, they could give you some more health. Like Raven Software, they've been business here. This needs a little bit of a remastering where you at least have more health spawns or have them do a little less damage. Just a little less damage, Stormtrooper. It's like starting to get to be West End Games rules here. I think I did kill that ATST. I think. Let's see. A Magnum SMG. That kind of exists. There is a full auto. There does indeed exist a full auto Desert Eagle. It's just a one-off. Completely impractical, but kind of neat. Let's see, where was I? Eventually I might have to do some kind of co-op thing at some point, but just getting all the schedules to work is not easy. Chris Vector in 10 mil. Yeah, there's that. There's even an MP5 in 10 mil. Okay, we're gonna load past this point, because my god, this game is hard. I want to show the lightsaber. We're not going to get to that forever. Okay, here is Nar Shaddaa Streets, one of my favorite levels. Actually, let's go back a little bit. Let's go back all the way to here, where it starts up. And even this is really difficult. Overflow 132. It's that awesome. Nar Shaddaa shows up in every single Dark Forces game, starting with the first. And now we finally got the lightsaber. Yeah, track down Relo Baruch.
Better try not to attract too much attention.
Kyle, you've already failed, because why would anyone go around with just one shoulder pad?
Sure, no problem.
But just forget about the lightsaber, right? Our random chiss.
Bartender. Bartender.
Jedi. I had no ideas. What can I do for you, honored Jedis?
I'm no Jedi. I'm just a guy with a lightsaber and a few questions.
Of course. Many peoples have them.
Lightsabers?
Questions. How about a ruby blade?
Corellian ale. A clean glass.
Of course, sir. Now, you seek information?
What do you know about Relo Baruch?
A respected waste disposal managers. This very establishment contracts with him to remove our garbages.
Where does he take your garbages?
Who cares? Out of sight, out of mind, scissors.
It's all strictly legit, right?
As legitimate as anything on Nar Shaddaa, Mr. Just the Guy.
You know where I can find Baruch?
Trulies.
Trulies.
Wait here. I get all for you.
Never trust the bartender with bad grammar.
See, that is a classic scene, but yeah. This game is ridiculously hard, and I figured the Switch either was going to be a great port or was just going to be the PC port dumped on there. Whatever. So, like, the lightsaber is not perfect yet. It's not the end-all to be-all, like, BFG that it'll be in Jedi Academy. Like, actually catching these little guys... How far he was running. But yeah, this game is very, very, very hard. Much harder than I ever remembered. I can guarantee you I cheated my way through the whole game. I mean, there's no chance I didn't cheat. If I'm not mistaken, this is one of those games from the early 2000s where, in order to cheat, you had to modify the executable, I think. Because I remember there was a bunch of games like that back then where you couldn't just type in a cheat code. You couldn't just bring up the console. You had to somehow enable it with like a executable injection or something. I know you had to do that with Medal of Honor. There is no Monkey 2, I think is what that was called.
Alright, enough fooling around. Where's Relo?
Please, noble Jedis, not in the faces. Relo's office is on higher level.
That is a nose on that guy.
Garbage collectors.
Get good. You know what? Why don't you get good, Silverwings? Why don't you get good? Can you play it with one hand tied behind your back? I don't think so. But yeah, this game is not... It's definitely a challenge. Jedi says we need a lightsaber. Yeah, some don't, but like the lightsaber's cool. That's really what the lightsaber's all about. It's cool. Realistically, with the Force, you shouldn't need it. Like, the Force has been so inconsistently portrayed in the various Star Wars media. Like, for example, and that's just bullshit there, Raven. Really, you're gonna give him a little firing port where they can just vaporize you that you can't see? Oh, these disruptor rifles. Oh man, these things are rough. They can literally disintegrate you. Like, I'm not even joking. I thought it was so cool when you can, like, when I discovered that you can disintegrate like enemies with that. There we go. I'll try to disintegrate one in a minute here, but you have to like charge it up. But yeah, realistically, a Jedi shouldn't even need a lightsaber. They should be more powerful than the lightsaber, but come on. It's cool. It's a guy with a laser sword. Why would you not want to see that? Like, there was a Jedi apprentice in the new Jedi Order that was captured by the Yuuzhan Vong that literally changed the density of air to choke out the Yuuzhan Vong. It was great. But it's like, wait a minute. If you can change the density of air, why do you need a glowing sword? I'm just saying. You just kind of win the game like that. And that Gran, he's got a pretty good arm on him. That's for sure. Okay, this level is my favorite in this entire game, but is fuck hard. Like, I'm telling you, like, it is hard like you would not believe. Okay, we're just gonna shoot him the normal way because I don't have enough time to target him. There are snipers everywhere. Like, and these people actually, you know, went to sniper school and everything. And so actually drawing a bead on these guys, not easy. And while you're trying to vaporize them, they're gonna be just blasting you through your shields. Okay, well, let's zoom in on them. Zap. When I discovered you could vaporize these guys, it was just so awesome. Okay, zap them. I think I probably should have put this on my top 13 list of first-person shooters, because I'd forgotten that you did a lot more shooting than Jedi Academy. Oh, you bastard. It's like, you're getting shot from everywhere at once. And they can't snipe you from across the map. Okay, let's save. Where's the worst to live, Nar Shaddaa or Coruscant? Ooh, let's see. Probably Coruscant would be a little bit worse. just because you have a much stronger central government. So while it might on the surface be safer and cleaner, you're going to have everything you do watched by some sort of corrupt government. Whereas in Nar Shaddaa, nobody gives a shit. Especially the Hutts. And so you'll have a little more freedom, even if you have to deal with a little more crime. So, like, on Nar Shaddaa, you have to worry about, like, a Gran busting in and shooting you. But it's probably going to be a Gran who's going to shoot you versus, like, a whole army of stormtroopers that are going to haul you off. There's a scene in one of the young Han Solo books where Han Solo is trying to rob a bank because it's Han Solo. And when it looks like Han Solo is going to escape because he takes the bank manager hostage, the stormtroopers are like, just shoot them both. And he shoots the bank manager and tries to shoot Han the man, but Han, of course, ends up escaping. It's like, that's pretty hardcore. It's like, well, you can't get the criminal? I'll just shoot his victim instead. Dagobah, Yoda's already... I don't think you'd want to live on Dagobah. It's a big-ass swamp. And so it's like... And yeah, you don't piss off the Hutts or the local criminals, but the thing is, it's kind of like the difference between living in, like, say, New York City versus Somalia, I guess is the best way to say it. Nar Shaddaa is kind of like Somalia. You'll have a little more freedom, but there's people that might want to bash your head open with a rock. But you won't have armed militants that actually know what they're doing trying to come kill you either, so it's all a trade-off, really. It's kind of like, would you rather live on Holy Terra or Necromunda? I'll choose Necromunda, because Necromunda, while it's a horrible criminal hellscape, at least you don't have to worry about, like, every single noble house wanting to use you as a servitor. Basically, if you have to choose a bad option, choose the one with less organization, because you'll survive a little more. Survive a little better. Okay, come on. Actually, I don't think we need to go that way anyway. If I had force powers, I'd just giving them constant diarrhea. Well, I mean, that's one way to do it. I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't do it. I mean, if you can change the density of air, I mean, you can technically do anything. Also, Luke had the power... Now, this is Luke. This is why Luke is the most powerful Jedi ever. I mean, I get that Star Killer has all the flashy powers, but Luke, in one novel, was able to stop nuclear fission. No, yeah, fusion, actually. Basically, there was a ship about to explode, and by using the Force, Luke was able to stop all nuclear fusion in this engine block that was going to explode. That basically is like, you win the game at that point. You can literally just snuff someone out of existence with that kind of power. It's like, we never see Palps do that. The only problem with, like, Ted Kaczynski and his, whole thing on the Industrial Revolution is, the Industrial Revolution actually did help a lot of people. It may not seem like it today, but it did legitimately lift a lot of people out of poverty. And I don't remember when he gave that speech, to be honest. I haven't thought about that in a long time. It has a bug problem. Yeah, Holy Terra has a lot of problems. Now, probably the best planet to live on is going to be something in the Outer Rim that no one knows about or cares about. Manifesto that got him arrested. Huh, I did not know that. I was alive when that Oklahoma City bombing went down. I actually had family living in Oklahoma at the time. It's like, hopefully nobody got blown up, and thankfully no one was even close to that building, so... Yeah, there's a lot of crazies out there. A lot of crazies in any time period. Stab him! Just cut him up. Now, see, like, dismemberment with... If you had, like, realistic dismemberment... That dumbass just hurled himself into the abyss. What an idiot. Okay, let's save. It's like, would you really want to see me slice that, Rodian in half and all its guts are just falling out? Like, that would not be fun. Now, maybe that grand, maybe, but, you know, it's like, you gotta have some restraint. Otherwise, yeah, you're gonna give people nightmares with that. But cutting his hand off, that's fine. Actually, no, maybe I do want to cut him in half and have all his guts fall off, the bastard. If you don't mind making friends with Tuskens. There's so few Tuskens on that planet, it wouldn't matter. It's one of those things where, for drama purposes, they have to show up a lot, but in reality, very few people are gonna have to deal with them. Revolutionary terrorist. He's just a terrorist. He didn't really have any plan to do anything other than just kill people. That really is the difference between a revolutionary and a terrorist. Is the revolutionary has some sort of plan and some sort of idea of what they're doing. The terrorist just, oh yeah, we're gonna blow them up because reasons. Step 4, profit. Stephen Barnes. I gotta stream that game one day. For me, when it comes to these people, it's like they kind of become memes. In reality, they're just very disturbed individuals that have a lot of problems. And I'll read that in just a... God damn it! Man, this game's hard. Turner Diaries, which hate-filled book but poorly written. Makes Sonic. I've heard of those things. Yeah, a lot of these... It's actually kind of sad, though, to a certain extent. Like, stuff like the Turner Diaries and stuff like that. People knew it was crazy. Today we've got stuff that's basically their equivalent that is considered good. DoomCon. I think I know what you're talking about. I think it's that Star Destroyer, but man, fighting Gallic Fire is really annoying. He has basically this mech suit, and my god is he hard to kill. Basically every aspect of this game is really hard. The moral of the story is, you will not survive. Okay, we're gonna... Because as you can see, I'm getting grenade spammed and shot from a sniper who can hit me, by the way. He can easily hit me. And while I'm trying to stab that guy with a lightsaber, blasted. And that's really what would happen to a lot of these Jedi. It's like, ranged weapons really are better. One of the big problems when it comes to modern day culture is a lot of stuff just gets turned into memes. And so people don't know the greater context for a lot of these crazies out there. You bastard! That JK2 demo. Yep, you can download that. In defense of looting. Yep. Here's an example of modern day craziness. There was a person, I think it was in Los Angeles. Why anyone would still... And vaporized. That is one of the more hardcore deaths in this game. Somebody in Los Angeles had to defend themselves from a unhoused, they call them now. And like the news media there is like, the innocent unhoused was attacked by a brutal killer. It's like, yeah, I'm sure. Secret area in the PC game, but you need to launch the pit. I don't think I've heard of that. Yeah, in defense of looting is fucking nuts. I, for one, never really went in for all the conspiracy stuff. From everything, goddamn, look at that! I didn't even have time to react. All this crazy crap that usually happens in real life, nobody really knows what they're doing, and it just kind of happens in a way. Now, sometimes government can get its act together to do a lot of horrible things. Yeah, what will they come up to next? I don't know. It's a bunch of stupid shit. I hate the Gran. We need to send the Death Star to their planet. Because, God, they're the most annoying enemy in any game. And sometimes you can dodge the disruptor shots, but it's luck. It's a very tiny arena where you fight Tavion. It's nothing special, but it's still cool. Yeah, they put a lot of stuff in this game. Now, maybe if they put some more health. Health, maybe. Health me. Maybe if we had 2 shoulder pads, this might not be as difficult. You see, the problem is I just don't have enough time to react. Nor do my weapons do nearly enough damage to shoot these guys in time. Like that. I don't think we're gonna get very far in this game. Like, you gotta really pay attention. And now you know why Jedi Academy is much more popular than this. I did not remember how hard this game was. I just did not at all remember it. Yep, there is no such thing as luck, that is for sure. Yeah, I actually stabbed both of them and immediately got vaporized again. You can get arrested for refusing to give your wallet. I would have thought Finland was more badass than that. I hope that's just something that's a rumor or something. It's like, Finland, they kicked all kinds of ass in World War II. How could they go get that cucked by this point? Last of the series, FPS view with lightsaber. Yep. You can go first person with that. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can. Actually, let's see if we can do any better. Stabby, stabby time. Actually, I'm not sucking quite as much. This game and its grenade spam. Ugh. It's just so difficult. Yeah, we can actually go to third person with the rifle, too. We can turn this into a third-person shooter. Not that that's actually making the game any easier. In fact, I think it made it even harder. Yeah, it's kind of sad about the old Finlands, then. I don't know. Nobody in real life would ever just do that. I mean, unless you're a political activist, no one's gonna just hand over their shit. No one's gonna not fight back. The only thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna fight back and then go to jail, and I guess the criminal gets out immediately. Because that makes sense. But nobody with any real intelligence would ever actually agree to that or think that's a great idea. Only the politicians could be that stupid. I'm never gonna get out of this room. Maybe we ought to ban grenades or something. It's like, you don't need a grenade, you just need a rape whistle or something, right? Ugh. My problem when it comes to any of this crap, though, is people of a certain type will always follow their orders no matter what. And so, good people get put away, and bad people are just said, well, the law is the law, man. The law is the law. But anyway, I'm not bitter. Okay, weak weight. God damn it, fucking grand. Recent law that said assault registered 1%. Yep. This is true. Well, there's the old statement that, like, something so stupid, only an intellectual believe it. And I'm very much a nerdy guy. I mean, I spent all my time back when I was a kid in the fucking library. But man, some of these people, Metroid Prime 4. I never cared for Metroid in the first place. I mean, I liked Super Metroid well enough, but I never beat it. If I could turn on God mode, believe me, I would. Believe me, I would. Yep, sheriffs are pretty good. I mean, the local law enforcement around here, pretty good. These guys are pretty great. When my grandfather sadly passed 6 months ago, the dude that showed up had actually known my grandfather, and he was actually very helpful. And I've never had too many run-ins with law enforcement, or really any at all. But on the few occasions I have had to deal with any of that stuff, they've all been very nice in this specific area. It's just one of those things, and these major metros, they're just not that nice, it seems. It's a double-edged sword, really. Sometimes you get good law enforcement, sometimes you get bad. It really just depends on why they signed up in the first place. So if they actually do want to protect people, they're generally halfway decent people. If they just did it for a paycheck, not so good. Not so nice. Okay, we just need to run from this guy. Yep, that's a grenade. Nope, and I got shot as I was jumping around like an asshole. Enforce the law because you don't want to get shot trying to take away someone's gun. Yep. Oh. Well, sorry, Emperor Snake. Activate God mode. I think I have to, let's see. Cheats not enabled on this server. Server? What are you talking about, game? Yep. You have to do something to the executable. And I'm not entirely sure, what you have to do to make that work. We're gonna get past this. We will get past this, ladies and gentlemen. We're not gonna beat the level, because it's a very long level, and it's very difficult. I think what I did to actually get past this is I just threw a bunch of thermal detonators up there, and just blew them up that way. Instead of just trying to stab him. Come on, blast him, blast him. Play it on the hardest difficulty, yeah. This is on normal difficulty. Help us, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I recognize that. Ooh, let's see if we can do that. Nope, that's Steam. There we go. Let's see. Help us, Obi-Wan. Oh, now we're gonna get somewhere. Thank you very much, Ace Party. Alright. Payback time. We got plot armor! We got plot armor here, people. We got all the plot armor. Oh, this is beautiful. See, this is what I would do back in the day. I'd ram my head into a brick wall and then give up and just cheat code time. Yeah, this is normal difficulty. This is normal. This is like just regular difficulty. And now we're just gonna slaughter everything. Okay, I think we do force push to do that. Yep, there we go. I'm getting shot by literally everything. I've beaten this game before. Actually, I beat this on many occasions, but man, it is not easy. I think we might try to beat Nar Shaddaa before I call it a day. Thank you so much, Ace Party. You have no idea how much you have helped the channel. Because, yeah, this is getting kind of painful. Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Let's see, G underscore saber real is stick combat 1. Okay, I'm not sure if that worked, but we're gonna try. Okay, let's save, because I'd hate to type all that in again if I fell. Okay, can we cut these guys up? Oh my god, he has no head! See, that's where... Okay, that's cool in the game, but would you really want to see that in a movie? Would you really want to see, you know, Luke just decapitate Vader? I don't think so. That's a little too violent for the movie, but man, just cut his head off! Online games accusing people using a Game Shark. I never had a Game Shark. I never had any of those cheat devices. I was too cheap to ever buy any of those. It's like, if I couldn't just use, like, free cheats, I'd be like, fuck the game. Uh-oh. And I did cheat. Stab him! No, Kyle. Cut. I didn't cut him in half at all. I did use a lot of cheats for, Jedi Academy. Especially, like, the infinite force cheat. So I could just use infinite force grip. Now, I think there's a puzzle here where you gotta like push the boxes somewhere. I don't remember though. They don't have like a lightsaber that can disintegrate somebody. No, they don't have that, but they do have disruptors in Star Wars that can vaporize somebody. Okay, yeah, that was the puzzle here. Yeah, they did decap. I guess when I think of a decapitation, I think it's something where it kind of zooms into that. Oh, he has no body! And we just crushed a guy with a door. Man, this game is horribly violent. We need to ban this sick filth. Oh, he has no head again! And since I can actually stand here and aim, we can vaporize this guy. No, we're not. Just for crouching, I'm gonna vaporize you, you bastard. So it's supposed to be horribly painful. And that's why they're banned all throughout the Star Wars galaxy. Doing this is supposed to be a war crime. Well, Kyle, it's not wrong when we do it, okay? It's a heroic crime. That's what it is. It's not a crime at all. It's a heroic action. The Codex Astartes does approve this action. Cap Jason, bro. Mostly cutting view on battle droids. Yep. Oh, he has no body again. He's half the man he used to be. You'll make better. That guy actually survived one lightsaber slash. That guy was tough. So in the West End games, a Wookiee could survive an actual lightsaber slash. Like, you could hit a Wookiee and it wouldn't kill him. Like, Wookiees were badass in the West End games. Okay, we're gonna vaporize us a couple of Rhodians here. You have no soul now. At least he's not coming back as a zombie. Okay, where am I getting shot at from? Ah, fuck it. Definitely use cheat codes. Hell, so you can beat 3 Jedi Masters at once. Yeah, that fight was kind of bullshit, though. I did not like the fact they got Ceci 10 so easily. See, I don't hate all the prequels. I just hate most of them. No! Okay, no clip. Ah, joke's on you? I can just use no clip now! Fuck your fall damage. Yeah, the Death Troopers. The zombie stormtroopers. That was a pretty alright story. It's not as good as some people make it out to be, but... Fuck your fall damage. Oh yeah, because Disney, it's like you can get stabbed in the chest and you're just A-okay. So long as you're the strong female with blue hair. Although I do know a legitimate strong female that does have blue hair, but not because they're woke, but because they like some sports team that won the other day. And yeah, this game really does need it doesn't necessarily need a remake. It needs a rebalance mod. That doesn't make it quite so impossible. I mean, like, you can beat the game. It's not an impossible game to beat, but man, it's hard. Does not feel like Star. It feels enough like Star Wars, though. You know, you got Han, you got, you know, your Rebels, but yeah, the one that really doesn't feel much like Star Wars is the sequel, Red Harvest, where like there's zombies eating their way out of like zombie tauntauns. When that was explained to me, I was like, what? Zombie tauntauns? Are you joking? Okay, now I'm trying to remember where to go here. If we go up there, we'll just slide off and fall. Actually, I don't think we need to even go over here. Fuck, you'll fall damage. I don't have to worry about falling. We got cheat codes. We're just gonna fly right back up here. I really don't need to see all that Kyle Katarn ass, but whatever. He must work out. And yeah, Dave Filoni did rip that off. Dave Filoni, I never really rated him that highly, mainly because he never did anything that interesting. Actually, maybe we do have to go over there. Look at all the snipers in this level. And I've already shot some of them. And they can hit you anywhere. Exactly. Or he's Superman, one or the other. I mean, what's the difference, right? Okay, here we go. Oh, I remember this. I remember this part here. You can fall so easily right here. And zap. Zap. Zep Brannigan's Law, right? It's still my favorite level, even if it is ridiculously difficult, because I love levels where you have to kind of like... Once again, fuck your fall damage. Is the guy you meet at the Star Wars convention who has safe and inoffensive opinions, and his own waifu. Actually, you know what? Forget it. I'm not going to do that platforming. I put in my time. I put in my time. When I did the retrospective about 5 or so years ago, I did actually beat the game legitimate. I did not use any cheat codes at all. I beat it fair and square. One of the hard parts when it comes to shooting the snipers is they immediately know where you are, and in order to kill them, you have to let that charge up. You have to. Zap. Oh my. I guess he had too much chili that day. Oh, you bastard! You bastard! Hey, where is that little bastard? There he is. You know what, dude? I'm going to fly right over to you. And I'm not even going... How did he kill me? How the fuck did he... Somehow he killed me through the God mode. That little bastard. Ugh. Actually, retcon Catamundi. Yep, I'm not surprised. Somehow that bastard killed me. I don't know how. Now imagine everybody shooting at you and you're trying to jump, and then you still fall like an idiot. Okay, we're gonna cheat all the way across that... across the bridge. While still being shot by every sniper on the level. Okay, let's go over here, like so. Never turn off no clip. We never turn off God mode. Okay, we got a little puzzle here. And that's gonna bring that over there. I think we need to get up here. I think. Actually, no, maybe not. No, don't fall!
Garbage haulers to me. Must end up in reloads.
Yeah, the typical organized crime. Now imagine if instead of Book of Boba Fett, in Book of Boba Fett becomes, you know, a legitimate businessman with garbage haulers. I mean, that would truly be a great plot. Actually, be a better plot than what we got. Exactly, it's the name of the monster. Ooh. Okay, don't fall. I don't think we're gonna make it over there. I think I needed to do something else to get that thing to move. I think. It's been a while. Not played this in about 5 years, so... Nope, it's just barely too far. Best story in the cutscenes. Yeah, Dark Forces 2 does have the best cutscenes. Like, going from the live action stuff to the Quake 3 graphics was kind of jarring. Alright, what we're gonna do is... Nope, that's the wrong one. Okay, we didn't actually need to do that, but we did anyway. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump onto into the garbage. Into the garbage, shoot flyboy. And even then, here, you're not safe, because what... You have to open up a bunch of doors, otherwise you'll get knocked off and fall to your death. They even made that hard. And yes, Jarek was actually a much better villain than the Lizard Man in this game. Not to say the Lizard Man was bad. And Tavion, you know, she wasn't too terrible either. I mean, she was simping for, you know, the dude. Alright, and we made it in. Let's see, we only killed 44 enemies. I don't know if I'd say it's quite as bad as a From Software game, but yeah, it is not. It is not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. Yeah, my grandfather always thought it was not very sporting to play games with God mode. It's like, you gotta give them a chance. It's like, but it's really hard. Okay, I think you have to use the Force to open up something over here. I think. It's never particularly obvious. And just wait till you get to Bespin in this game, or maybe we just... No, because there's no way to jump over there. Okay, that was easy. I thought we couldn't destroy that. And hello, Rayleigh. Although I'm almost done, so you got here just in time. Yeah, this is going to be another puzzle. This game is very good about its puzzles, but man, they could rebalance that difficulty just a little bit. Maybe if they gave you more health, it would be a little more doable. And maybe didn't turn every enemy into an aimbot. Like how the window is completely impervious to lightsaber slashes. And that! Look at that! That is bullshit. That is bullshit. There is no reason for that game. It's like, seriously, Raven Software, like, you're gonna put 2 little firing slits the second you step in the door so you'll die immediately? Still chasing you, killing 44 of their mercenaries. You'd think, but, you know, in their mind, there's more mercenaries where that came from. Because Hutts don't particularly care about non-Hutts. I mean, they are foul Xenos after all. Dark Forces 2. Now, what's kind of interesting though is I've seen people complain about the prices on some of these remasters. And I can understand why. I mean, like, paying $30 for a game from, you know, 30 years ago is kind of steep. But in my mind, it's like, it makes a certain bit of sense that they would have to charge that much. Because it can't be cheap getting that Star Wars license. So I can see why they charge a little bit more for that. Gonna do some crouch jumping, which didn't do any good. Okay, now where the hell do we go? AVP2 remaster? Oh yes. And yeah, more player damage would really help as well, because like if you gotta shoot a stormtrooper 3 times to take him down, that means he's just blasting you the whole time and he's gonna shred you. Maybe we jump in here? No, that went absolutely nowhere. Yeah, this is gonna be a bit of a maze. Alright, we'll do some platforming. How about that? No! Ugh. I think the guy who voiced Kyle Katarn in this game was also a major voice actor on Cartoon Network, because I recognize that scream. There's a voice actor that was in like everything, like Johnny Bravo and all the rest. And yeah, a game from 30 years ago will probably be better than most games today, although there was some bad games back then. Don't forget that, there was a lot of shovelware even then. I mean, just look at Extreme Paint Brawl or something like that. Yeah, I think I'll call it a day in just a little bit. Kyle, it is probably human and alien feces. Just saying. Alien Trilogy Remake. Now, I could go for that. But No One Lives Forever, I think, really does need a good remastering. I need to stream that at some point. And dude, Deathfall, her scream is so funny. I don't think I ever played as Mon Mothma. Yeah, once games had to be, you know, like blockbusters every time, you kind of started to lose stuff like, well, being able to play as Mon Mothma. Because you know there'd be like the Mon Mothma pack. And like they'd bring back the original voice actress. And the DLC for her would be like $10 or something. It's not just a skin in there. Jeff Bennett. Yeah, I don't recognize the name, but He sounds like he probably did some Cartoon Network stuff. Cartoon Network from the late 90s and early 2000s. That was some quality entertainment. Ed, Ed, and Eddie. And oh no, not again! Ooh, can I do that here? Can I do it in the menu? The answer is yes. Just slid right off of there. Okay, and clip. There we go. Republic Commando could be remade. There's a fan-made remake of Republic Commando in Unreal Tournament, whatever the fuck engine, the modern one, and it looks really good. Really makes me want at least a fan-made. Ah, goddammit. Alright. I'm tired of falling down. I'm tired of getting killed. Okay, good. I thought that voice sounded familiar. Alright, I'm General Lotz. This game was way harder than I remembered. Like, I did not remember it being this impossible. Next time, we're going to be playing a much easier game. So for now, I'm General Lotz, wishing you good. Early Cartoon Network, good. This game, just put on God mode and no clip. Or whatever makes you happy. Alright.